Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. We surely appreciate it here on 100 Yards of Football. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. And today's video is on Lamar Lathon, linebacker, formerly of the Houston Oilers, the Carolina Panthers, and college, the Houston Cougars. So if you like the video, please come in and share it. And I'd like to give special thanks to my very talented producer, who's making it happen for me this morning, the very talented Mr. Jeremiah Long. Let's talk about Lamar Lathon. My first knowledge of Lamar Lathon is that I know he's a pretty good football player at the University of Houston, but I had a gentleman out of my hometown, as everyone knows here on 100 Yards Football. I'm out of Memphis, Tennessee, the 901, and I had a good friend of mine that played with Lamar Lathon, and his name was Eric Blunt. And they played on them Houston Cougar teams of the late 80s, and they were some of the best defensive teams in the Southwest Conference at that time. And I remember Eric Blunt told me point blank that he's been around a lot of great football players in his time, but he's never been around nobody that was 6'4", 265 pounds that can run a 4.4 40. And he said this gentleman was very special. And I'm going to say this on 100 Yards Football this morning. When you look at all the great outside linebackers from George Webster, to Andre Tippett, to Derek Thomas, to Lawrence Taylor, to Wilbert Marshall, to Charles Haley, and Von Miller, this gentleman right here, I will put him in that class. He only played 9 years in the National Football League. He had 34 surgeries, so he battled a lot of injuries. But when you're looking at the skill set, the power, the ability, all those gentlemen I just named, Lamar Lathon is the top of the list. That's right. I don't mean to cause no controversy this morning, but this gentleman was a very special football player. He played in 115 NFL games. He had 414 tackles, 37 sacks in his career, 4 interceptions. He made All-Pro, first-team Pro Bowl in 1996 with the Carolina Panthers. Now think about this. He played on the 1992 Houston Oilers team that was very talented, a playoff team that had Warren Moon, Lorenzen Wright, Ernest Givens, Webster Slaughter, Haywood Jeffries, Curtis Duncan, Bruce Mike Matthews, Mike Munchak, Ray Childers, William Fuller, Glenn Montgomery, and I guarantee you, pound for pound, he was the best football player on that team. Then he went to the Carolina Panthers in 1996. Look who the Panthers had: Kerry Collins, Howard Griffin, Sam Mills, Kevin Green, Wesley Walls. There's no question about it. When you're looking at a football player, pound for pound, he was the best player on that Carolina Panthers team. Then you think about the hometown he came from, Wharton, Texas. It's only been a few great football players that came out of that town. I think about Billy Watley, that played at Colorado, went on and played with the LA Rams. I think about Jim Kearney, who played at Prairie View University, was an outstanding quarterback, but was a starting free safety on their Super Bowl 14 with the Kansas City Chiefs. What I'm saying is something down in the water, down in that little town of Texas, Wharton, that made Lamar Lathon the player he is today. Now I'm going to talk about his skill set. You're looking at a linebacker at 6'4", 265 pounds. Explosive for any linebacker that's played in the National Football League. And I'm even going to put Lawrence Taylor in that category. Game record. A+ as a linebacker. His sideline to sideline speed is non-barred. Think about it in that playoff game back in 97 when the Carolina Panthers played the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, it was Lamar Lathon who knocked Michael Irvin out of the game. I want everybody to remember that play. A wrecking ball as a linebacker. I'm going to keep bringing up 6'4", 265, A+. Destroyed offensive tackles, A+. Relentless as a linebacker, A+. I just mentioned the speed at 6'4", 265. He was a legitimate 4.4 guy. Violent as any linebacker that's played in the National Football League, hands down, A+. Quickness as a linebacker, A+. Powerful as a linebacker, A+. Athletic as a linebacker, A plus. Rumors are he can jump 38 inches out of the gym at 6'4", 265. Blitz ability, A plus. And ball reaction, A plus. I'm going to tell you something here today on 100 Yards of Football, and my name is Vincent Turner. If Lamar Lathon didn't have so many injuries in the National Football League, remember, I just mentioned early in this video, the guy had 34 surgeries. And he only played 9 years from 1990 to 1998. Excuse me, 8 years. If he would have had a career where he could have played a couple of more years, I'm telling you, without injuries, this gentleman right here could have been one of the greatest linebackers that played the outside linebacker position. And I'm even going a step further. He could have been the best. That's how talented this young man was with the Houston Oilers and the Carolina Panthers. And I'm going to tell you this. You can ask anybody on the defensive side of the ball in the old days of the Southwest Conference and all those great players that played in that conference, from Steve Atwater, Billy Joe Tulliver, Barry Foster, Tony Jones, Jason Phillips, Wayne Martin, John Roper, Aaron Wallace, James Francis, and ask Mr. Richmond Webb, former first-round pick of the Miami Dolphins out of Texas A&M. I guarantee you they're going to say Lamar Lathon is one of the best football players that ever came through the Southwest Conference. This gentleman's a hell of a football player. If you like the video today, please come in and share. We surely appreciate here on 100 Yards of Football. I've been your host, Vincent Turner, and once again, special thanks to my producer, the gentleman that's made it happen for me, the very talented Mr. Jeremiah Long.